Now we're ready. We are ready with Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands Love and Bantraphyll. Once I remember to unmute the audio, because if there was no technical difficulties, then it wouldn't be a stream. So, welcome everybody. We're gonna pretty much just jump right into play. There are a couple of things that we really should go over first. And that is where what where where we are. The gear is SC0245. Humanity has thread throughout the Milky Way, using transit gate technology to colonize the galaxy. Mobile frames are the hard-working, hard-fighting, combat and labor mecca that they brought with them. We are romantic ace mobile frame pilots caught up in an undeclared war for the future of the Bantraphyll system. Most importantly, we need to remember, though, that Bantraphyll was never at war. Until recently, a wealthy colony was sorry. The Bantraphyll system is not at war. Bantraphyll was never until recently a wealthy colony. The planet had resources enough to maintain its own small society, but none worth exporting. There was never any need for the corporate sponsors of the initial colonization to interfere with its administration. In the halls of the Solar Union Commerce, land shares on Bantraphyll traded for nothing. No cost, no gain. You might throw all my land shares on Bantraphyll into your golf wager as a joke, or give them off as a prank gift to a friend. Until recently, though. There was a minor development in the obscure biochemical processing technology, and the novel features of Bantraphyll's ecosystem went from being a scientific curiosity to being an untapped and unknowably deep wellspring of wealth. Land shares on Bantraphyll are no longer ignored asterisks on anyone's balance sheet. The handover from the administration and power from the descendants of Bantraphyll's original Terran colonists to the newly interested legal right holders, the self-proclaimed landowners, has been cheerful, orderly, and mutually profitable. There have been a few isolated spats, of course, but there's been practically no protracted, bitter, bloody war of resistance between the displaced old Bantrest autocracy and the off-world landowners. And when a landowner uses the threat of violence to force a hereditary great family to give up their land, keeping them on as guides and entertainers, it's cheerful. And when they offer them in exchange a negligible sum, it's mutually profitable. And when a fiery campaign of Bantresh irregulars responds by raiding their holdings and seizing arms and material against future battles, and local insurrections take advantage of the upset by forcibly occupying a biochemical processing facility, and the landowners respond with a ruthless crackdown and martial law, those are a few isolated spats. To admit otherwise would to invite the intervention of the Terran Transit Authority, mediation, and peacekeeping forces. And then no one would get rich from Bantraphyll, but the TTA. So that is the background of the world that we're in. And to introduce our characters, we're each going to do a short scene. Would someone besides me like to go first, since I just talked a whole lot?
I can go first if no one else wants to.
Sure.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So we get this background information dump. And then I think the scene fades onto a large mansion. And you see like manicured gardens. And you see a training yard where there are men training. You see a hangar where there are many mobile frames that are meticulously maintained. But then you go in through one of the windows and you hear people arguing. And there are two men seated across from each other at a table. One of them is older, he's graying. He has dark blue hair and it's like very silver in through here. And he's arguing rather vehemently with a younger man who has more of like a purplish toned hair. And I'm seeing it more like shoulder length, kind of like Umbra's is. And the younger one is saying something to the effect of, we can't stand for this. These are our resources. And then they just come in and take them and offer us these sorts of deals. And then the older one slams his hands down on the table and says, this is not how we respond to terrorism and threats. And then the camera pans and you see a staircase in the background, and a young woman is walking down the stairs, and she has shoulder-length pink hair, and she kind of pokes her head around and she says, Father, is something wrong? What's going on? And he calls her down and says, Ceres, you should be a part of this. This concerns all of us. Come have a seat. And she comes down and she sits down, and she sits next to her older brother, Rigel, and says, why is all this shouting going on? I can hear you all the way in my bedroom. And her father says, well, your brother and I disagree a bit on what we should be doing about the landowner situation. Obviously, their presence here and their treatment of us is insulting, but I want the two of you to agree that we are prouder than this and we are bigger than this, and we will bear these insults with our pride until the time comes that we will respond. Do you understand? And Rigel seems unpleased. He seems like he's busting with anger, but he checks it. And Ceres just looks kind of confused. She's like, well, of course. And I think that's where that scene fades.
Beautiful.
Cool. Yeah. I can go next if
Sure.
you have something you want to jump on. But I think we get this shot. Maybe we pan out from the manor, and we see this large sprawling cityscape outside. And just from our characters, I've been picturing this like Bantraphyll as kind of like Mediterranean, and it's like architecture and all that. So I see like lots of like marble, and it just looks very very classy overall. So we see this like Byzantine cityscape. So we pan through, and there's it looks like a parade at first. Like there's people walking down the street, and there's crowds gathered on either side. But when we come close, we see that these are people in uniform rather than some sort of celebration going on. These are armed forces walking down the street. While they do have weapons on them, you're not brandishing them in that sense. This looks more like it's a show of force. And at the very end of this parade, we see a pair of soldiers. We sort of zoom in on them. The one on the left, he looks behind him. He kind of shakes his head and says, I don't know why we had to bring that thing here. It's just going to make things worse. And the other one, he kind of shakes his head and smiles and says, I told you to stop calling him a thing. It's a person like the rest of us. He's just a bit different, you know? I don't care if you call that thing a person. We camera pans back a little bit further, and we see this. This man, I mean, is a robot by all, and by any description. It's roughly humanoid with a very distinctly robotic face. Very like lots of square angles, and he has the probably like the most distinguishing feature is that his eyes are just like a line that stretch from his face and up the side of his head, and he's just walking around waving to the people because that's what he's been instructed to do, to be as non-threatening as possible. He's just presenting himself. And I think as we get closer to him, we hear shots of something else. This we hear the distant sounds of gunfire in his mind, and we hear the sounds of buildings crashing down and humans screaming in terror. And it just goes on like that. I think as we zoom back out, see the parade, we just hear the terrors inside his head. And I think that's it.
All right, I think mine
Coolio.
is a very good contrast to that, so I'm going to jump in here.
Okay.
Not too far away, we see the proud edifice of a university building. And we zoom in through a window to a classroom where there is a very proper looking woman with her hair pulled back severely into a bun, her small glasses perched upon her nose, and she is surrounded by a small group of college-age students, and all of them, all of the students you can see have rolled up their left sleeve and have on their arm a tattoo of a compass. And she's addressing them, and you can see on her arm she has a similar tattoo as she leans across her desk. And she says, I know you think we need to act, but what we need now is a strong foundation. We strike, they will burn us out. There's only 8 of you here, and only 6 of us have mobile frames that work. If you want to strike, get those other 2 mechs running. Then we can move. And in typical post-teenage fashion, the collected students mumble and are a little bit upset, but finally they nod, and the small gathering disperses. Then a bell is heard chiming the hour, and a new group of students come in. You can see the woman roll down her sleeve, hiding the tattoo before the classroom fills. And she says, thank you all for coming to Bantraphyll History. I'll be your professor. My name is Angela Jones. And then it will cut out of that scene.
So, the class goes on, and then bell rings to show the end of the day. Everyone's in the quad. You know where all the cool kids in college hang out. People are playing like space frisbee, and there's like people laying out, and like it's a pretty nice day. And there's like this like kind of like in the center there's this like hollow display thing where it's like, oh, the temperature is 78 degrees Fahrenheit, and the local news of like the university and stuff. And then like the blue hollow image starts to like crackle and like spaz out a little bit, and then it just disappears, and then in its place, this, instead of like the blue, kind of light blue it was before, there's now like a purple symbol. It's like a flat line with a fist rising from it, and that's kind of like spinning, and then that like just cuts, and we see this person. They have like this really dark purple jacket on. They've got like kind of short, spiky black hair, and like this black raven, like metallic raven mask with like glowing purple eyes, and they're just like staring straight forward. And then I think now we like see a bunch of like on like people's phones and on like TV screens and other places around. Like there's like this same images here in all these places. And then we come back to like the main one of this one in the park, and the person says, "People of Bantraphyll, you are being lied to. You are being manipulated. You are no longer in control of your lives. You are now a tick on a report, a statistic calculated by an algorithm written by an analyst far away from here. Those that call themselves landowners claim this land is theirs because their names are on some deed won years ago. The Bantraphyll nobility claim to be rightful owners, but even they know not the struggle we face daily in defending our rights and our home. We are gravitas. We will bring you to our level. We will flatten this world." And then it goes back to like the symbol, and then it goes like zzz, and back to like in local news. And then yeah, that's my scene.
Perfect. Brilliant. Anyone who's seen me play this game before knows the game that I most prefer to open with. So I don't, unless anyone has a better idea, I have a fantastic one. Not to oversell myself or anything.
No, go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm gonna choose a dance. And I think it's most interesting if my chosen partner for this dance is actually specifically adjudicator CH4.
All right.
So this there is a street festival that is taking place downtown. It's late at night. There are live bands playing on either end of the street, completely discordant different types of music. There are vendors selling food, pies and cups, alcoholic beverages, alcoholic foods, you know, the whole nine. This block party goes on for probably like half a mile around. It's a huge celebration. The exact origins of this party are lost in the annals of time, but it's tradition on Bantraphyll to have this huge street party, and then we can find just dancing along to the music, Angela Jones. How is it that CH4 came to be dancing with her?
Yeah, I think I know what this is, because this is like also a Greek thing. But we all dance like in a line with like, arms on our shoulders.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we dance like around, like probably like around the square. Is what we're doing. It's just like a long line, and we just like end up side by side.
Perfect.
Hmm.
Okay, other players can be here if you like, but as the two of us are dancing together, let's see. When the dance ends, will you stay with me or rush away? We've danced this huge circle around. We danced around the square. As the music changes, the rest of everyone is breaking up, but I still find myself with my hand over your shoulder. As I glance over as everyone's disengaging.
Yeah, I think he stays. holds it like his arm around, and I think he does like a spin. So like his arm is like stuck like that. And his rest of his body spins into place. He just like puts his other arm around you.
Nice. Yeah, she smiles and then goes into a dance with him.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think right now he's just going on routine. We see like lots of different like, dance patterns spinning by in his head. We're like, okay, this is how people dance on this planet. I just googled that. So I think like he's surprisingly good at this. Like it's because his limbs rotate in ways that human like limbs can't. So he's lots of movements that you might not expect. But let's see, what can I ask about this? Let's see. And what I think happens is, yeah, I think there's like a break in the music. There's like a brief moment of silence, and we just end up face to face. And at this moment in the dance, you laugh. At what?
The sudden silence. I think we both find ourselves like there's two different bands going, and then they both switch songs at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And she finds a little bit of humor just in that quick moment of kind of silence, and she chuckles, and as sort of a way to fill the silence, and says, "You'll dance better than I expected."
I get that a lot.
Did either one of you wanted to be at this location?
I imagine I would be.
Please take an opportunity to ask a question. So the party continues on. There's some mingling.
So I imagine that unlike the two of you, I'm probably in sort of quasi disguise. So
Makes sense.
I'm probably wearing like traditional costuming of like our past. And I also probably have a festival mask over my face. And my hair drawn back into like a little tiny ponytail because it's very short. Well, not this short, but you know.
It's not this short either. Shorter than that though.
But she has it drawn back in a ponytail, and she's wearing the costuming and the mask. I'm imagining it's like a white fox mask with like red paint. I am going to say that during the like it's probably another one of those line dances or whatever, and I find myself next to Angela. And at this moment in the dance, you may place your hand on my elbow, my shoulder, my waist, or my hip. What do you choose? As we are dancing in this circle. And you don't recognize me as one of your students.
I think I'm supposed to put my hand on your shoulder, but instead, I think I put it on your waist, and lower than it should be, and a little bit more intimately than it should be, standing slightly closer than I need to, and like kind of smile out of the corner of my eye as we go around this circle. I think we're going in the direction that like is towards you.
Okay.
And so she uses that as kind of a a way to get a little bit closer.
I think you can't really tell, but behind my fox mask, my eyes are very wide. Because I know who you are.
And I have no idea who you are. You are a cute chick in a fox mask. Yeah, and I think that definitely brings me back to my first question, but this time directed at you. Oh no, this is even better. The dance's figure separates us, and then when it brings us back together, do you blush? I can't see it, but does it happen?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Definitely. Like, we probably get that shot of like the mask looks transparent to the viewer, and they can see like how red my face is and how embarrassed I am to be back with you.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I do dance with you, and I'm probably emboldened because my face is hidden.
Perfect. And we spin around again, and it zooms out on the whole dance and brings us to second question for CH4.
Yes. So I think what basically just happens after is that the line starts up again, and by some means, of how how the randomness of the universe works, me and Ceres end up next to each other on the line. And let's see. And I think he does something that he doesn't he doesn't do it. He loses his place. He like steps out of line somewhere. It almost looks like something malfunctions, like in his legs. He like stumbles a bit, and because it's a line, it just like tips down the entire line. It's like this wave. So, do you let me stumble, Sirius, or do you draw me back into place?
I think I would draw you back into place, and it
Hmm.
probably seems a little weird because you're like this. I don't know how big you are compared to people, but I am on the smaller side as people go. And so for me to like dig in and yank you so you're no longer falling and so you're going the correct direction again probably looks a little comical. But at the same time, I definitely wouldn't let you just stand there. That's not the type of person I am.
Yeah,
And
I just think he's on the smaller side, specifically not to scare people too much.
Okay. And I think as I am reaching to pull you back into place, my hair has fallen in front of my ear, like some of it slipped out of my ponytail. Obviously, you can't touch my face because it's concealed by a mask, but do you touch my mask to put it back into place?
Yeah, I think yeah, he definitely does that. Like he notices that you like saved him more or less. So like oh, that's a mess, and like just pokes in and pulls the hair out of the way. It's probably like it's a bit rough. Like it's not like a gentle touch. It's just like dragging your hair out of the way.
Beautiful. And I think the camera just zooms out like on the music of the dance just filling the night, and other people reveling in the streets. Who's next?
Lovely, lovely.
I have an idea if that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So the one I'm choosing is a conversation over food. I think specifically I'm choosing Ceres to be my partner in this. But obviously, like the two of you can feel free to be there. And it might make sense for you to be there. I guess it'll obviously up to you, but the scene and situation is like at like I'm not sure what the name of our settings city is or whatever, but like wherever we are in like kind of like the city hall in one of like the banquet rooms, the city's putting on like a mixer, like landowners and Bantrash and people of the city get to meet each other and like see like that we're not all bad kind of thing. So it's like it's kind of like whoever wants to come can, like there's certain people were specifically invited, but then it's also like open to the public if you want to just come in and like it's kind of put on by the city to be like there's a lot of people that are really pissed about all this, so like let's try and bridge it, like let people see them in like a different light. Like it's a party, so you can see people partying, it'll be fun, right? It's nothing bad could happen. And so I think like as a member of the nobility, Ceres was specifically invited.
And also probably told by her father, you're going to this.
You're going.
Dad.
Yeah, so like it's probably like evening sometime, like the sun like settled just like a little while ago, and then like we come into like this like big city hall, come down to this like in this banquet hall within there, where there's like a like big table with like it's not like a meal as such as it is like just like every hors d'oeuvre you could think of, and then there's like a bar over in the on like one side of the table, and like the like, tables where you like get your food and then you go sit or whatever. Yeah, it's very much like a mixer or like a meet and greet kind of thing. Yeah, it's like it's almost kind of awkward because it's like there's no like organized events or whatever. You just kind of come in and just like, what are we supposed to do? Like, I don't know, there's people, go talk to them. Like, oh, okay, I guess that's what we're supposed to do. But yeah, so I'm so obviously don't have my mask on, but my character's name when he's not in his revolutionary persona is Malik. And so like it's kind of that I think it's that thing where like the people watching the show like the camera the camera comes through and like they come out on me, like I'm wearing like a nicer suit, and it's like obviously we're future space suits, so it's like that weird like it's like folded over here and like it's like black and there's like a purple line across it or whatever. Some sort of like weird cufflinks or whatever, and then I'm not like partaking in it, I'm like helping, I'm kind of like overseeing things. And then like it's not like if you like watching the first scene and then like this like, oh that's the same guy from that thing, but oh yeah, they don't know, okay, so whatever. But yeah, so cool. I think that's all the ideas I have for setting up. So yeah, conversation over food.
So as for how we came to be eating together,
Mm-hmm.
I imagine I saw you like standing there trying, like overseeing everything and trying to make sure it's all running smoothly. And I'm like, well, that's not right. He should be able to at least have something to drink. And so I think I get a glass of punch and I bring it over to you and offer you the glass of punch, like saying, you must be thirsty working so hard.
I actually am pretty thirsty. Suppose we take a short break. Probably won't fall apart within a couple minutes. So, thank you.
I'd hope not. And Ceres, I imagine she's even though she's Bantraphyll nobility, she isn't the sort of person who would flaunt that. So she's probably dressed down somewhat more conservatively. I'm guessing probably just like a simple navy like cocktail dress or something, but nothing like especially lavish, just something nice.
Yeah. Our
Not I.
I guess we'll say so. Like, what do you notice about each other? What have you heard? Malik probably looks stressed in that it's probably like, oh, well, he's overseeing this. That makes sense. It's like a big thing, and so, but yeah, like as like he like takes a sip of the punch, even though he's like, oh yeah, I can take a break. His eyes are kind of constantly like looking around, like still like attempting to look over everything, but he's like at least pretending that he's taking a break.
As far as the what have you noticed, what have you heard thing, I think since Angela isn't here, you don't notice much.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I think as for CH4, I think what you've heard more is about like the company itself. It's about the Dearborn Combine. But I think they've been like a big part of like getting this event to happen. Like that, it's lots of pushing from their side, like, because they want to be on the like on the good side of the people.
Yeah. There's a bunch of pushing like they don't like us. Let's just do let's
Yeah.
show we can have fun.
People like parties, right?
People like parties. We see people have parties all the time. We'll throw a party.
Yeah, parties. It's for the common people.
But it's probably totally not like local stuff. It's probably like, look, we brought all this champagne from off world. We'll just serve them that. They'll love it.
What do you mean you don't like escargot?
Yeah, it's like a lot of that. And so people are like, I had food, so I'll eat it, I guess. But
awesome. Yeah, they can also like a lot of like spice and a lot of like deep fried food.
Awesome. Cool. So we take turns. The person with the lowest social standing takes the first turn. I would say it's probably me.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just a person. Nothing important about me.
I mean, I'm barely a person.
Let's see.
Go ahead.
I think I'm just gonna go with let's see. The question I'll do a topical question. I'll ask Siri up since we're kind of standing there. I'll ask series. So the question I'm doing is, I'm feeling expansive. What do you want to know about me?
I think I would ask you how you came to be involved in this event. Just because I'm interested in general in the whole idea of landowners and Bantrash and the common people getting along. And so I don't think there's a lot of necessarily information out there about who organized it or
Sure.
And so I think I would ask you, so obviously you're someone who's in charge here. Are you?
I guess that's a way you could phrase it.
I guess I just want to know, there's not a lot of information out there who put this party together. And I mean, I think it's definitely a good thing to have us all try to find common ground, don't you think?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think it's good that they can, the landowners and our lovely nobility can come together and at least have an agreeable night. There was a big push from one of the groups, the Dearborn, wanted to put this together, trying to kind of like you said, kind of try to bring everyone together. Since there's been and the papers say it's been completely smooth, but there's been some consternation. But yes, I'm
hashtag fake news.
Yeah, I had somewhat of a hand in putting it together, but mostly I'm just here to make sure things go okay.
And how do you feel things are going?
Everyone seems to be at least appears to be having a good time. So that's seems pretty good. As long as we can get out of here with no nobody getting any at least no weapons are drawn, I think we'll be okay. Arguments are probably going to be par for the course, but you know, you can have a civil argument.
Something gives you away to me, Malik. What is it?
I think we hear some like we're like standing near one of the the food tables or something, and somebody walking like two people kind of like getting stuff onto their plates. Like we just kind of like overhear part of their conversation as they pass by us, like picking out food and stuff. And they say something about like I can't believe all those terrorist groups are just like fighting all of this. It's so stupid. They're just coming to get what's theirs. Like, and I think like we like for just like a split second, Malik gets like the death glare and just like glances back at them and looks back to you like, oh yeah, sipping his punch. And is like he just like couldn't help himself because he's like stressed about everything, and so he just like let that slip accidentally, where just like just this hard cut glare to those people that were just like, oh, the people should just let this happen because it's stupid to fight. And then just looks back like nothing happened and just takes a sip of his punch.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So what were you saying about? Yeah. Yeah.
So I think this is when CH4 is going to join the conversation.
Cool.
I think he spotted something. Like, all this time he's been at like on his seat at the table, is looking down at this plate of food they put before him. Just, okay. But like, I think he overhears the same person that you heard, like talking about terrorists and the like. And I think it's probably like someone at his table. It's some of the like Dearborn soldiers, probably like the two guys we saw before.
Oh yeah.
It was like talking about, oh, I don't understand why they keep fighting. Like we're just here to secure this planet and whatnot.
Yeah.
Maybe like he spots you like looking, but it doesn't like make note of it. And then he sees you looking back at Ceres, and he just like stands up. Excuse me for a moment. And he is walking over to Ceres because there's something about you that reminds him of something. And something gives you away to me. What is it?
I think it's my pink hair. Because while it is not uncommon for nobility of Bantraphyll to have wild colored hair, my pink hair and the length of it, and since you touched it, you probably that's something that stuck into your memory banks. And I think that that is what probably that, and just like my stature and everything, it probably makes the connection in your processor that I am the same girl who helped you during the dance.
Yeah, he probably noticed that your posture was a bit uncommon for like a common person. It's like, this person's probably noble. Doesn't match the hairstyle. So as he was like walking up, but like I'm picturing like walking up behind you. This is, your hair looks nicer today.
I think I turn around confused and I say, "Have we met?"
Oh, once. It's very interesting to see you again, especially at an occasion like this.
Glad to see you two getting along. That's what this is all about.
Indeed. And I think it reaches over and like pats you on the shoulder.
Probably way too hard.
Yup.
Which is
Just begrudgingly take a drink of the punch. Like, damn, wish there was alcohol in this. Cool. And so I think what was the one? What was the wording? Yeah, so I think my next thing's gonna be I hope to find common ground with you about let's see, I don't know if I want to do like just like the struggle in general or like a more specific thing.
with me.
Yeah. So I think like we like the conversation becomes a three conversation, and like we talk for a little bit, and I think it probably just comes back to that again, and we probably like get back to some specific thing. Like there's probably word of like a food shipment got hit, and like they took a bunch of supplies were taken from like a landowner shipment, and like no one's really sure what happened to them, but I think like something like for like something like sparks that or whatever, or like we and I think I'll like say something well, sure, I guess they stole it, but they, when you steal food and you need food, is it really stealing? That, you know, that old conversation. Something you need.
Good old conversations. Yeah, social protocol 512. Talk about food for the poor people. Yeah, I think maybe CH4 like tilts his head a bit. Says, hold the moment. And we see like numbers flying by, and there's like a visual interface. That particular shipment was designated for an event that we're hosting a few weeks from now. And if these terrorists still live in this land and resist what we entirely intend to be peaceful operations, if they keep obstructing us like this, then maybe the people will see who their true friends are.
Well, you know what they say about good intentions.
Indeed. I've been informed.
Cool.
So,
yep. Should be Ceres' turn now.
CH4, I am feeling generous. What do you ask of me? What favor do you ask of me?
What favor do I ask of you? Yeah, and I think this is also going to lead into my question, because CH4 is on a mission, very corporate mission, and I think he's going to view you as a sort of intel. He's going to ask, and I think like we see like something lights up in his face. And see, oh, my lady, you might be aware of this. I have been sent as part of our initiative here in the on behalf of the Dearborn Combine to track down what we believe to be a rogue adjudicator that has found its way to Bantraphyll. We've heard stories of a mobile frame that seemingly operates by itself, with the classification Sophia. Have you heard of it?
That frame belongs to my mother. Belonged to my mother. She has passed away, and her mobile frame has been decommissioned.
I see. So are the stories false?
I cannot comment on those stories at this time. I'm sorry.
Of course. I see. Very interesting. Well, I hope to be able to talk to you about it further if you're able to comment. I think this is the secret that he accidentally spills. That the Dearborn Combine are very interested in this mech, in this frame.
Mm-hmm.
We would like to see it, well, taken care of. It might be a lost asset. It's found its way onto this planet somehow.
I see.
I think for mine, I say like the conversation's a little tense now, so I'm going to like look make a big gesture towards like the table, like the long table of random snacks, and like, well, it sure is great that the Dearborn Combine was able to bring such. And it's like a clear pause where he's trying to think of a good word to describe like such exotic fare from the other planets. I've some of these things never even heard of before. It's
I'm not
much
surprised.
appreciated. Yeah, I'm passing and saying something about the food in a sort to try and get some more levity in the conversation. Yes, I never knew that you could fry something in oil for that long, but some people seem to like it.
If you gentlemen will excuse me, I believe that there are some other people that I need to say hello to, but it has been a pleasure to speak with both of you.
It was nice to meet you.
I leave the conversation.
The same, my lady. And yeah, I think I'm going to be talking about the food as well. So we'll end it here. I would say, oh, you would be surprised how long you can fry something before it's completely destroyed.
Oh, yeah, not too used to frying things here, but I'm sure one of the many great things that's being brought to Bantraphyll.
Weeks, months, even.
Wow, that's a shock.
Sometimes they don't even stop screaming.
Probably fade on like the weird, confused look on Malik's face.
Perfect. So that was a conversation over food.
Indeed.
Who would like to be our next next?
Next. Let's see.
Also, mic volume might be a little low. I don't know if you can bump that. I would like to go next.
Whose mic volume might be low?
It might just be low for everyone, but so maybe if you're having trouble hearing, you could turn up your speakers.
Yeah,
I tried.
Possibly.
I tried fixing the everybody but myself audio.
All right, let us know how it sounds. While I want to do a chase with CH4.
Okay. Cool.
I'm
fine with that.
I'm in Sophia. And you spot me out in the field, and you are trying to get information about this potentially rogue adjudicator. So I think it's obvious you're chasing me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think we've sort of gone over about what we've heard. Notice about each other. I think CH4 is in his frame at this point. Is in the C3H8 unit, which is, I mean, it's frame size, but I think it has the same head as CH4, just larger. That's how you can tell it's him. Yeah, I think he's out with. I mean, I think they're probably like escorting something. They're escorting another food shipment for that event because apparently they need more security. And he's there in his frame, and he sees you off in the distance somewhere, and he just takes off. He says, "I have my directive."
And I think where you see me is it's on the fall lands, like our ownership.
Mhm.
So, and I have been, one of the duties that I've taken upon myself has been patrolling the border of our lands to make sure that there is no encroachment of landowners and that the residential people are not being harassed or bullied. And there have probably been fights where I've tried to scare people off that we're getting too close, but nothing like major, but just kind of like suppressive fire, like back off, warning shots, that sort of thing. And Sophitia looks like a large Valkyrie mecha. So armored plates, navy and gold, which are the colors of the fall house. Sophitia carries a large spear in one hand and has little winglets on the back that have missile launchers on them, all along them. And I think we get a shot inside the cockpit as screens light up and she gets a warning that a rogue unit or an enemy unit is coming within range quickly. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the challenges and admissions.
Indeed.
I know this ground well because it is my homeland. Follow me if you dare but throw. On tails, you're plunging heedless into danger, and I need not choose any admissions during the chase at all.
Okay. Yeah, I'm following. See you heading off and close afterwards. Let's see. Go flip a coin over here. I did this in the box, Kelsa. That's it. The intent. You're muted.
Yes, when you gain a coin, put it in your box. I'm building boxes for you.
Okay.
Oh, there's
I didn't mean to
there's stuff going on.
delete there. I also put too many coins. It's good. I'm good.
Yeah, and we can't use those coins like on these ones, by the way, or I can't at least. You don't have the power.
Let me check that real quick.
I don't got the power.
Let's see. Let's see. I can just flip this one. Is that tails or heads?
That is a tails.
X. Yes, I guess it's that one.
So on tails, I need not choose any admissions at all. Okay. So I think
And no one gets a coin.
no one gets a coin. And Kelsa, there are decks of cards that you can actually use to draw coins in, and they can actually go into hands. Like, so if you'd like to use those. Okay.
Can you use your magical powers to make those for available to everyone?
They should be available to everyone.
Yeah,
Yep.
the decks are
Okay.
there.
Perfect. Well,
Yay!
Magical roll 20 powers.
yay.
So I think what this looks like is I enter this forest, and because you're not familiar with the trails that are through the forest, it's very easy for me to twist and turn you around. And where is it? I lead a dizzying course through switchback and blind. Follow me if you want, but throw. On tails, you're lost and won't be able to find your own way back.
Okay. I think he's not going to follow you here. His stops as you're heading into this dangerous territory, and I think what he's trying to do is like connect with some satellites instead, like get bird's eye view shots of this terrain so they can find like another way around it. But he's not going to follow you.
So if you're not following me, does that mean that the chase ends?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that's just is see running off into the woods and like okay, there's no other way around here. We get a shot of the massive C3H8 frame staring into this dizzying path and just shaking his fist to the sky.
I think we also get a inside the cockpit shot of Ceres, and like her eyes are wide, like we get like wide eyes looking around, and like her face lit up by consoles as she's like trying to not get caught, and she like is assuming that she's still being chased until like the sensor readout finally says target lost, and then she just kind of goes
Cool. So let's see. I believe it is my turn then.
Mm-hmm.
and I think that is the last game of the episode.
That is correct. Your game will be the last game for today.
Indeed. So let's end it on a good one, shall we? So let's see. I'm thinking about stealing time together. I think that could be fun.
That is always fun.
Yeah. So I think he's going to be stealing time together with, let's see, with Malik, probably.
Okay.
So how does the two of us come to be together?
It could be because part of my job is basically being the liaison between people like this, people in City Hall and like the landowners in the Bantraphyll. So it could just be like, hey, there's this representative from the Dearborn. We want you to go, like,
I think he requests like you specifically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They're like, hey, ignore your job. You're doing this today because it's them. I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay, sure, I guess so. Yeah, and so like I like get a hover car or whatever to take me to wherever I was supposed to go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So let's see. Where do we meet? Where is the place? I think, let's see. I mean, do we just want to skip forward a bit to that event we were talking about? Like
sure. Sure. Yeah. So yeah, what's that going to be? Is that going to be like a
Let's see. Oh, like I think I know it. I think that this is our ultimate space frisbee tournament. Officially. officially put on by the Dearborn Combine because we understand cultural traditions here in Bantraphyll. And this is a thing that you people like.
Yep, we love ultimate space frisbee. Yeah, so like Malik like gets out of the car and we see like this like big banner of like the first annual like ultimate space frisbee competition sponsored by the Dearborn Corporation. Like,
indeed.
Oh, okay, this is a thing. Okay. I look down at like my like suit that I wear to work, and I'm like, I probably overdressed for this. Like, oh well. So I just head on into like, I assume it's like a big park or something like that. And so I'm like, I'll head on in.
Something like that.
Yeah. So I'll like just walk through, try and find you, past people in like shorts and flip flops and t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah, I think where it's in this like huge sports arena that definitely wasn't here like a week ago. This has been shipped in for this event. It might not be here next week.
Yeah, I think yeah. If we see that, you like for a part of like what you might notice, like as Malik is kind of walking through, like trying to find you, he just like looking around at this giant, just like manufactured like thing that was just plunked into on one of our parks or whatever, and just like it's like
yeah, it's like definitely in like a national park or something like that.
Right? Yeah, it's just like this used to be a pretty cool place to come out with their family, and now they just dumped a stadium on top of it. Like it's like this used to be Yellowstone, but now it's the Dearborn Stadium.
Yeah, now it's Dearborn Yellowstone.
Branding. Yeah, so like I think Malik just has this kind of like trying to be okay, but can't help but have like a slight scowl on his face as he just walks through and sees like, yeah, Dad took me fishing over there once. Now it's a hot dog stand. That's great. How fun.
Yeah. The official fishing pond hot dog stand. It's part of the branding.
Fried 3 times. Triple
At
fried
least.
hot dogs. Yeah, so they eventually I like come over and like we eventually I find you in the somewhere in the stadium.
I probably told you to meet me by the hot dog stand.
Okay. Sure. So yeah, come over to the hot dog stand and I find you.
Yeah, so I think we see him like he's in line as you come up, and like he spins around, like his legs don't, but his upper body does. He's holding a hot dog in each hand. Like, and it's just this massive ball of lard in the bread.
With like a thin thing. It was like there's some meat in there, but it's
a little bit of ketchup on top. It's also been fried.
Educator, good to see you again.
Ah yes, hello, Alec. I was very, very happy that you could make it.
Of course, always happy to come to the needs of our the landowners.
Right, here, have this.
This is a huge thing. Like, this. I look up and like make sure that like other people are getting this too. Then it's not just some weird like thing. Like oh no, it's supposed to look like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
this is the basic one. But I think everyone has your expression. It's like, what is this?
Like everyone else has it too. Like I'm not sure how to attack it. I was like, thank you. It's.
I'm glad you like it.
Have you taken a bite yet?
I think what he does is that he takes the other one and just sort of like jets it into yours. So cheers. This is like wobbling.
They're like like it's Jello. And then they're like oh, that's disgusting. I think he'll like slowly take a bite of it and like
Yeah, it's almost entirely fat. Like this is the outer layer that
chews for like 5 minutes.
yeah.
Like
Mm.
yeah, it's something, all right.
Yes, it is something.
It's definitely something.
Mhm.
This stadium
Mhm.
you put it together pretty fast.
Mhm. Yes, we're very efficient. There was barely anything here before. At least nothing worth sparing.
It's just a park.
Mhm.
Just, it used to be one of our national park actually
Mhm.
here in the area.
Yes, so we've been told.
But now it's a stadium and it sells these. It's fantastic.
Yes. No prior construction makes building things much easier.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, you just destroy whatever was there.
Indeed.
As like a gesture of just like, yep, I'm supposed to. It's like we get the anime like Malik's giving like a big smile, and then like real Malik like behind him, like in like the superimposing is just like this like the eye twitching anger glare. The weird like superimposed big version of him behind him, and like
that's just see like Amon looming over you, like he's like
yeah, exactly. It's with the mask and everything. It's just just like glare shaking his head, and just Malik's like, yeah, all this is just fantastic.
Yeah, I think at this point, like oh wait, you got something on your face, and he's like a bit of lard that's just stuck to it. And I think he reaches out to touch your face. May I?
You may, but only for a moment, and then I withdraw to a less charged distance. So yeah, like, so yeah, you do that. You do that, and like kind of like before, I almost feel like it's like a little more forceful than it has to be. And I kind of just use that as you kind of push me away a little bit, and now I'm like another foot away from you somehow. Just like, thanks. Wish these came with napkins. Don't use them much where you come from.
Oh, I don't. I barely use anything at all.
Fair. Sorry about that. Of course. Well, like a weird kind of like gesture. He like kind of like leans and like pats you on the shoulder, like a really awkward, just like attempting to be a friendly gesture. Like, well, we. So I touch your shoulder. May I?
Let's see. You may.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like an awkward kind of just like. That's everything that's being done for other people is greatly appreciated.
Indeed. I hope these people will see the light of things eventually. There's been so much trouble, far too much.
They've seen a lot of trouble recently. Yes, that's true.
Indeed.
I think what everyone wants is just for equality. You know, I think that's probably the biggest thing that people want.
Equality is good, definitely, but I can appreciate a bit of individuality as well.
Definitely, just the chance to be yourself without being forced to do anything you don't want to do, or having your culture ignored or anything like that. Just not all that's, you know, just be great.
Indeed.
And I'm afraid I didn't know what was going to be going on today. I'm a bit overdressed. I loosened my own armor or clothing. May I?
You may.
So like you kind of like undo the suit a little bit and like remove the jacket. And I think beneath that he's got beneath the jacket it's like far less fancily dressed because like kind of like at work he just wears the suit like the whole time, and so under the jacket I think it's probably like what college do you teach at, Kelsa?
Oh, I named that, didn't I?
Bantraphyll, you.
Met. I think I named it. Oh, I actually deleted the part where I named it. Um. Merrick University.
Merrick University. Okay.
I
Yeah, I
decided.
think he's wearing like a T-shirt for Merrick, like the Merrick University fighting space weasels or whatever.
Yeah, long and proud long and proud team.
We are the space weasels. We are proud. Yeah, he's got like a T-shirt for like a faded logo of the mascot. And so he like kind of slings his jacket over his arm. And he goes to take another bite and then looks at it and then kind of puts it back down. Like
yeah, and I think CH4 like sense on your chest because it's like trying to make sense of this like logo, like because it's like partially deconstructed from all the wear. Like, and then he like his head like spins over to the stadium. And says, "Oh, do you still play?"
Haven't had much time lately. But yeah, back back when I was in school, I played quite a bit, but yeah, I've been pretty busy with the job.
Of course. Human obligations and all that.
Right. Yep. Obligations. Exactly.
Indeed. Speaking of obligations, should we go and watch the game?
Of course.
It's about to start.
Great. Happy to see it. Who's playing?
Oh, well, it's two local teams. I've been told.
Great.
I don't know their names, I'm afraid. Did you say Space Weasels?
Yeah, Merrick's Go Space Weasels.
Those are not here. They're not good enough.
Maybe next year.
Maybe.
Well, let's. Where will we be sitting?
Oh, we have a special seat, and I think he looks up at that point and claps. He gives it like double metallic clang, and I think there's like a building on top of the stadium, like a little smaller like overlook that just takes off, like lifts into the air somehow, and like flies over to the hot dog stadium, and just lands.
It's like a hover box or whatever that you would.
Yeah, for sure. So, and it stays like hovering even.
How extravagant.
Oh, this is rather commonplace.
I'm learning so much about all of you.
Well, you better strap in. This is going to be one hell of a ride. Or so I'm told.
Of course. Alec like apprehensively steps onto this like floating press box.
Yeah. So maybe that's just where we end for today. Is where we step in and it just flies up and we get this like shot of the stadium. Imagine there's like large holograms inside playing Ultimate Space Frisbee.
And we just like we see the camera like the box like floats back up to its vantage point, and the camera comes up to follow Malik, and we just see like that anime like look of shame because he's surrounded by all of this nonsense that he hates to his core.
Indeed. It's like everything that he doesn't want to be.
I know, it's terrible. It's just like, how does no one else see this? This is awful.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
What is this thing? I feel like I'm taking crazy. Oh, fantastic.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad that happened.
I am too.
So we need to ask next time on Love and Bantraphyll, what do we expect to see? What do we want to answer?
see.
I've
think-
got one. Sorry.
Okay. No, yeah, go for it.
Good.
The burning question in my head is, will Professor Jones realize that the cute girl that she danced with is her student in her intermediate history class?
It's a good question. It's a very good question. The burning question that I have is, what does Amon's mech look like?
Mm-hmm.
And what will cause him to fight? That's what I'd like to see answered next time.
Yeah. I think my question is going to be. I think since I didn't get to interact with the professor at all, so I think my question is going to be, how far is Angela Jones willing to go for what she believes in?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Yeah. And I think my burning question, fittingly enough, is how long can a person be fried before they give up their secrets?
Always comes back to frying with you, doesn't it? Oh no.
Of course.
So this was our first episode of Love and Bantraphyll. We're gonna be doing this each week. Short scenes, ongoing story. We're gonna do the format is similar to what you just saw. We'll start off with some solo scenes, get to know our characters and a little bit of history as we move in to then the main meat of it as we go around the table. And then a quick little, what do we want to see next before we go into outros? So some of us do things other places on the internet. Astani, are you doing anything these days?
I am going to school.
Brilliant.
But
That is a great thing to do.
I am horrible about self-promotion in that I don't do it. Not that I'm a horrible self-promoter. But I do want to point out that I did do some art for Drummer Boy that he commissioned for his new thing that he put on the things. Words. You can ask Drummer Boy about that. And I did the art for this business. So
That is correct.
If you're
Very good. It's
looking
very good.
for like slick art stuff and I have time, hit me up. Estani at Twitter or here on Twitch. Otherwise, I'm just kind of watching other people stream and like trying to rest my brain in between studying all the things. So.
Nice.
Beautiful. I heard someone just finished with school. Dealer Umbra, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Indeed. I'm just done with school as of like a few weeks ago.
Nice.
I've got a few more assignments which need to be polished a bit, but generally I'm done. So now I'm just job searching. But when I'm not being a responsible adult, I'm on the internet playing some role-playing games and the like over on RP Glorious channel, which is playing in a Burning Wheel game with Kelsa and a bunch of other lovely people. It's at 7 p.m. Central European time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific. And yeah, I think that's role-playing. I also just started this week a playthrough of Persona 3, the special like FES version, so that because Persona 5 is kicking my ass, I want to play something else. So it's been fun. It's a very different game, and they're doing some very interesting design choices with how they handle dungeon crawling and the like. It's been fun so far. I look forward to seeing more of that game. So on the internet, you can find me at Dealer Umbra on almost anything: Twitch, Twitter, probably other things that I've forgotten about over the years. It's been far too many forums and the like.
Beautiful.
So that's me.
Thank you. And Tuxtrodamus, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself? And your
Yo!
face.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming out to our first episode. It was a lot of fun. We invented a lot of really funny things today. Yeah, so it's really cool. I'm looking forward to next time. You can find me. I'm on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. They're all /Tuxtrodamus. I do this stuff, streaming things. On Wednesday, we have Longfall, which Kelsa is on. On Saturdays, normally today, our players had some stuff going on, so we won't be doing it today. But usually on Saturdays, we have Blades in the Dark game, which would start about an hour and a half from now, which Kelsa's also on. And then, yeah, if you're curious about all that, come over there, check me out. We do some fun stuff. And yeah, thanks again for watching.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I really appreciate it. As they said, I'm on a bunch of different shows on other people's channels. I'm on 2 shows on Tuxtrodamus' channel. Immediately following this, we normally do Blades in the Dark, Smooth Criminals, where I'm the GM. Following that, at 5 p.m. Pacific, normally I am over on AP Gaming Reels channel for D&D 5th edition game called Winter's Edge. The Grand Company, which is a pretty cool game ongoing. This week, one of our players is doing a awesome 24-hour stream to celebrate 4 years of streaming. So I think you guys should go check him out if you've got nothing to do today. Twitch.tv/Sawfang. I'm going to be hosting him after this. And he's a pretty cool dude. And then Wednesdays, I'm in 2 shows. As Umbra said, I play on RP Glory's channel in a game of Burning Wheel. And then in the evening, I'm back over on Tux's channel for Longfall, where I am an adorable owl cat cop. And we have sad adventures together.
Yep.
I really enjoy this game. I'm really happy where it's going. I know it wasn't a lot of content, but the plan is to keep it slow and steady, short episodes that come out until we just build up a bunch of content. I want to see how far we can take this, and doing it all together in one time in a one shot was never satisfying. And so breaking it up week after week, I really hope to dig into these characters and the world and really see those messy relationships flourish. So thank you again for coming out. The VODs are going to be going up on YouTube as soon as I can manage it. I also have curated a lot of, but not quite all of, the shows that I've been on in the past on playlists on my YouTube, youtube.com/KelsAdelphi, just like my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/KelsAdelphi, all one word. So if you want to go over there, I should actually put that in my thing below my thing. I want to fix that. Anyway, so yeah, if you only caught part of this, I'm going to put those up later. Of course, you can watch the VODs on Twitch right now, and I'll see you all next week. So I'm going to put us out back to the amazing hype music that Drummer Boy did, and thanks again for coming out, guys.